What is up, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Scyushi, and today we're starting a series of Turok 3 Remastered. Now, for those of you that don't know, I basically started my entire YouTube career solely on the fact that I wanted to play through Turok 2, which was one of my favorite games as a kid. Turok 3 was kind of broken and busted and whatever else. Nightdive Studios basically has the rights to all of the stuff related to Turok, and they ended up doing a remaster of Turok 3. Now, I'll kind of go into more detail of the history of what happened with Turok and blah, 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 blah. But either way, I'm excited for this one. It's gonna look jank and old because it's a remaster, so it's kind of like, you know, basically the original game, but higher res textures, and hopefully it's got some quality of life improvements and changes that make the game better, but we'll see what happens. Shut up, kid. It's a trap. No, bro. I don't know how he goes from an actual god in Turok 2 to this, but whatever.
It's coming.
Epic. So, this game, like, what can I say? It is kind of a mess. I thought they were doing like a full remake of the game where they could have it realize its full potential.
Nightmares back. I wish you would talk to me, Josh. You've been such a help since Brian died. I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't been here for us the past few weeks. Why won't you let me help you?
The child.
What?
The child is the key, Danielle.
I don't understand, Josh.
I don't expect you to. I'm not sure I understand myself, not completely. All I know is that the child is the key. Whatever happens, Danny, whatever happens to me, you must not let the family die out. The three of us are the only members of the Fireseed family left. If the family dies, the lineage dies. If the Turok line does not continue, the balance will falter. If that happens...
What? Joshua, what will happen? Please tell me.
Oblivion.
He sounds like a raving psychopath, man. The child! You gotta remember, this game's pretty old, so even these cutscenes were very, very innovative at the time. The crazy thing is, like, what Nightdive Studios basically has been doing with these games and why they take so long to come out is they are, these Giga Chad developers are basically reverse engineering these games and developing it from scratch, because this was designed only for the Nintendo 64. It never came on other platforms and stuff. And in order to have, like, mouse look, higher res textures, and even widescreen support and all that stuff, like, that wouldn't work if they just took the base game and then, like, re-uploaded it, you know?
You're too loud.
Why did it look so sad? Triple kill.
Joshua?
Danny? What's going on?
Be quiet. Joshua? Are you all right?
So there's our playable characters, as those two homies.
Help him.
Get out! Get out now!
We're not leaving without you.
It's too late for me. The two of you have to get out of here, now!
I don't know why he doesn't just use the cerebral bore, but whatever. I guess it wasn't canon.
Oh, Josh. No.
Get out! Get away from here.
We can't leave you here.
Not much choice, little brother. Go on.
We love you, Josh.
Come on, sis. Let's go.
Hasta la vista, house.
Josh.
It's over. He's gone.
Oh, ow, ow! Like, what the heck? Oh, these cutscenes are great, dude. Oh god, weird version of
Come with me.
Adon. This is the same, she was a blue weird alien chick in Turok 2, and for whatever reason Turok 3 she's different.
We must wait here. The council has summoned you.
Who are you?
I am Adon.
Joshua spoke of you often. He's dead.
I know. Be still now. The council is here.
Speaker,
I am here, council.
Your companions are strangers to us.
These are the keepers of the light, the vessels of our hope. They are Turok, as was their brother before them.
What?
Turok? Us? Adon,
silence! Your words betray your weakness. The sons of stone have failed. A new course must be set. Yes, a new course. Speaker, can the woman bear the burden? Be still! Too long we have cowered like children. We are the Council of Voices. A new course must be set. There is no other course. What folly is this? We've always known this day would come. Speaker, can the woman bear the burden?
I do not know, council.
And the boy? Let them choose. If the burden proves too heavy, all is already lost.
Adon, I don't understand any of this. What burden? What choice? None of this makes any sense.
One of you must take up the mantle. One of you must become the son of stone. One of you must become Turok.
The death of your brother leaves us no choice. Only Turok may take up the burden. Only Turok may wield the light. You must choose.
Now, I'm not gonna pretend that I know anything about Turok lore, as much as it was one of my favorite games ever. I don't read any of the comics or anything. Okay, so each of these characters, this game was super duper ambitious at the time, but it basically, you know, made the company go bankrupt, which I'll kind of get into. So she has different gameplay than Joseph, but we're gonna play as her just because I think canonically it makes more sense.
I will bear the burden of my fathers.
I don't know if I'll play through the game again as the other dude. We'll see what happens.
The burden is heavy.
It doesn't change much.
Before a woman tried to assume the mantle, and it consumed her.
I am not afraid.
It is done.
And then we're just instantly thrown into the game. Whoa, mouse look is way too high and there's motion blur. One sec. Okay, so I found motion blur, depth of field, you know, all those fancy things, but also field of view was defaulted at like 70 or something. I pretty much always have my field of view at 100 in games. Yeah, that's a little bit better. So, yeah, I still gotta change the sensitivity of my mouse a little bit. Sorry, it always takes a little bit to get this set up because games often don't take my native mouse sensitivity. I think a lot of that has to probably do with the resolution of the game. But yeah, so anyways, Turok 1 and 2 were actually they were pretty ambitious games for the time. You might not think so, but especially Turok 2, it actually had a lot going for it that was kind of like the first of its time. And Turok 3 was kind of continuing that lineage where the developers were trying to really push.
Adon talked about. I have to get there as soon as I can.
Really push what video games could do. It doesn't really show. You know, a lot of this game seems very old and dated for the time. But basically, what they were really trying to push with this was being able to control two different characters, you know, and have dual narrative. That was something that was very unheard of in this day and age. But unfortunately, the company's ambitions got a little bit ahead of the tech. And essentially it ended up costing them way more money than they were earning on this franchise. And unfortunately around Turok 3, you'll see it in certain areas, but it was basically cutting corners left and right. Because of the fact that the game was just, it was too much. It was going too crazy with everything. With all the dual narrative and everything like that. And ultimately it ended up making them lose a lot of money. And then the last game that they ended up doing was Turok, what is it? Turok Evolution on GameCube. And that was like, that was the most obvious, at least to me, that the franchise was losing a lot of its steam. Man, these enemies hurt. Because essentially, like, as they were running out of money, it was just like, yeah, anyway. So, long story short, what ended up essentially happening with the boys over at Acclaim is, as the company ended up going bankrupt, unfortunately, it seemed like it was going to end up being the end of these developers that have crazy ideas. Like, honestly speaking, a lot of the stuff with the Turok game was kind of the first time that games ever did some of these things. Like, even all these cutscenes and stuff, they were actually really, really impressive and high budget for the time, like with all the facial animation and stuff like that. And even in Turok 2, it was one of the first games that had like a liquid flamethrower and stuff. And so, long story short, hey bro.
Please don't hurt me.
I won't hurt you. Can you take me out of here?
Follow me.
Okay, bro. Long story short, as they ended up going bankrupt, they ended up starting another studio called Retro, which made the Metroid Prime games. And I only learned about all of that stuff as I was doing my Turok 2 series, because people were, leaving comments and stuff like that, letting me know about all this random little trivia that I just thought was really cool and really interesting. And Nightdive has done a ton of different games remastered. Can I do this? There we go. Tons of different remasters. And one of their main original projects that they ended up doing was the System Shock remake, which I absolutely loved. But the budget with this game is very, very apparent, as a lot of I hear the enemy, there he is. As a lot of the enemies and stuff like that are reused assets and whatever else, you know what I mean? Okay, there, sorry about that. I noticed some performance issues, so I turned VSync off in the hopes that that would fix it. Sometimes VSync on or off makes all the difference in the world. But anyways, I just want to take you guys up with a little bit of that Turok trivia. I'm sorry that I was a little bit scattered with how I explained it, but I'm also trying to kind of get the hang of this game again and remember everything that's going on with it. But I'm really looking forward to this playthrough. I've been looking forward to this game. I didn't even know that they were going to do a remaster of Turok 3, but honestly, I got really, really excited when I saw it, because I initially thought it was going to be them fixing and changing all of the issues that this game didn't do, you know? Like, even something like this. With our character, she can jump a lot higher. So if we were playing as the other dude, we would actually go through there. And the game was originally going to have a lot of different paths and stuff that would end up being a little bit more fleshed out, because otherwise, like, for the base game, honestly speaking, a lot of this doesn't really make much of a difference.
All over, get away! Oh, get away!
You're okay, bro. A lot of the, a lot of the navigation and stuff, like, ends up going to the same location. So it really doesn't matter that much. Bro, you're supposed to be a cop. How dare you shoot that man? That's why so many, like, I think down there is actually another path that one, the area character comes out of or something. So level design can be a little bit of a mess because of it. Thank God for the auto aim. The other thing too that I loved about this game, if we go over there, that guy will kill me. The other thing I love about this game, or at least that I loved about the Turok games in general, was the impressive level of gore. That's what actually made me like really enjoy Turok 2, especially. Turok 1, you know, Turok 1 was good, and I played it a lot, but even then, like, it wasn't my favorite game. Turok 2 really was just like, oh, it was so good. And then, you know, they got remasters of all of those. So it's really, really cool. And I'm really glad that these games have kind of come to, you know, modern hardware and stuff, because I think that they're classic gems, but that's also because I'm a little bit biased. One thing that I'm really curious to see with Nightdive is, as far as I know, their original plan was that they were going to remaster all of the Turok games, and then they were going to start working on their own original Turok game. And they are currently, I think they're working on a System Shock 3 or System Shock 2 remake or something like that. So it's, what I'm looking forward to the most is that they own these franchises and they're basically going to, you know, bring them back from the dead. And most of all, I'm looking forward to seeing the new games that they end up making. Because as much as I love this game and everything like that, like, it's still old. And I do still wish that I would see like a new game kind of in this style, you know? So even down there, if we jump down to the street, we'll just die instantly. I'm curious to see if there's any changes though. There was a lot of game-breaking bugs in this, in the original game as well. I think I still have my like physical cartridge, like my N64 cartridge of the Turok games actually. But you'll notice, even on normal difficulty,
A grappling hook. This should come in handy.
like, I take one hit and I'm like almost dead. It's ridiculous. Okay, let's see here. Yes, beautiful. Now, I'm not exactly sure. Woo! I'm not sure what my hotkey is for the grappling hook. Oh, I can just press G. All right, let's go. That's intuitive. Where am I supposed to be going from here? I'm not supposed to go up there. This was just for treasure as far as I know. And now we're trying to like grapple somewhere else. Up there. Because unfortunately, we can't just grapple anything. We have to grapple onto stuff like this. So I'm assuming that I just missed something that I was supposed to jump to over here. But this always, I remember this always gave me trouble as a kid because I don't remember where I was supposed to go. There's the grappling spot. Oh my god, it has no range. Well, that doesn't make much sense, but all right. Was it always like that? Good lord. Also, I need health items, bro. Like, so all these little things I'm collecting, by the way, like for those that don't know, it's just to collect, to get extra men or extra lives or whatever. A one-up guy. What? Okay, so that's because each of these areas is kind of loaded in as its own independent level. And now we've got Zomberts to deal with. The auto-aim makes a huge difference because actually shooting used to be way harder. You gotta remember that you had to actually play this game with an N64 controller, which was, can you grab it? Which was quite disgusting. I do like the level design though. I like the openness of it. It does make it a lot more confusing and less streamlined, but again, like, they were planning on doing some crazy stuff with this game that I was genuinely hoping to see in the remaster, but I'm not expecting to see anything changed from this version to the other, to the original, honestly. There we go. Okay, I don't know if I'm gonna get all the PSG parts. That's basically like the Chronoscepter or the nuke from the other Turok games, where as we're going through the levels, we gotta find secret parts, and then ultimately it ends up giving us the it ends up giving us the final god tier weapon. which I don't remember if in this game it actually, I think, so in the original, like in Turok 1 and 2, maybe it was just Turok 2, I don't fully remember, but the ultimate weapon didn't actually affect the final boss, which was kind of a letdown. I think in Turok 1 it froze the boss, but it couldn't like damage him, and in Turok 2 it just didn't do anything. Whereas in this game, if I'm not mistaken, the ultimate weapon is almost strictly for the final boss. Again, I could be mistaken in that. The controls are so much more fluent than they used to be though, dude. Even just having native mouse look is such a huge deal. Hey bro! New objective, evade the Oblivion spawn and reach the subway. I will do that. Dad! You scared me! Oh my god! Okay, so, well, now I know how the checkpoint system works. I wanted to make sure. I'm probably supposed to grapple up, aren't I? Because that's cops. This is more cops. Yeah, and they're sending me this way. Okay, there we go. But yeah, Turok actually is, so this would have been the other way. We could have got the shotgun if I didn't get it from the other level. But Turok is like comic books and stuff, and I don't know much about it. A lot of the enemies in this game are actually reused assets from Turok 2. And especially in Turok Evolution, they reused like a lot of stuff, which again was disappointing, even though I actually really enjoyed Turok Evolution. Fun fact, I have like a playthrough of pretty much every Turok game on the channel. Once upon a time, I was the Turok guy. And, suffice to say, Turok Evolution did not age well, and so it was one of the only games that it was one of the only Turok games that I actually canceled the playthrough of. Because that game was insanely repetitive, and it was just like, bleh, it was a chore to play that game. Versus this one, which, I mean, the remasters in general are very, very nice. What was that? I heard somebody grunt. So yeah, I'm killing everything. I don't really need to. But whatever. Also, secret. Seems like a lot of the enemies are still just kind of staying around. Tech bow? Yeah, let's go. All right. I want to see two. Okay. I wanted to see if I could walk off the ledge and then jump, because that was a thing in old games. I wonder whether or not side strafing actually makes me walk faster as well. There we go. That was normally so much harder to do, so I'm glad that they streamlined that. The bow is way better in this one than it was in Turok 2. They actually made it like super duper offensive as a weapon. Man, climbing is so much better. Like, I can't get over that. Woohoo! Because I remember, like, in my old playthrough of the original game, this was a really difficult area to navigate. Actually, the tech bow seems to be explosive arrows. Aha! 69, nice. The other thing, too, I'm really curious to see. So if you guys don't know, is this multiple pathway? There's a Giga Chad that made a basically Turok 2 has multiplayer, like versus mode, and somebody made a modded version of Turok 2 Remastered where you can actually play multiplayer co-op. Fun fact, where's the train coming? There it is. Fun fact, in the original Turok 2, there was kind of a cheaty way that you could play the game multiplayer co-op. Because essentially the way that the game worked is that... I'm gonna die. The way that the game worked is that the single player maps were... They were basically their own like cells. So what you could do with a beta version of Turok 2, which was the black Nintendo 64 cartridge, is you would actually load into a multiplayer game and then you would use cheats to teleport everyone in the multiplayer match into a single player map. So, long story short, I'm just saying, since this game has a lot of the same code, well, it might not because it's a remaster, but I wonder whether or not the dude will end up figuring out how to make this have co-op as well, because that would be pretty dope. Albeit, out of all of the remasters, I was really surprised at the price of this game. Because for me being Canadian, obviously, you know, things are more expensive, but still, this game was like 40 bucks.
Warning.
Which I gladly pay for, because I love this franchise, but Turok 2 is arguably a much better game. And I think it's cheaper. I don't know. Okay, so now we're in a cool train level. Where we gotta rush. Oh, this is cool. I do not remember this. Was this a thing? It probably was. Yeah, it was. Okay. I really don't remember a lot about the original game. It's been years, dude. Heck yeah. So, I might be mistaken, but I think, like, we'll keep going, but I think we're either really close to the end of this level or the levels seamlessly go one into the next. I could be mistaken. I really don't remember. Oh yeah, that's electric water. Right. And then there's like, we can climb up this even though it doesn't look like we should be able to. Hey, bro. And then, is this the treasure? I always like going the treasure route before I end up going the correct way. No, this looks like it's the correct way, so I want to go over here and see, because I think there was a gun over here that I could have grabbed. Man alive, ammo is very, they're giving me a lot, which I appreciate. The fact that we can carry 70 shotgun shells is nuts to me. Because in Turok 2, you could only carry like 20? So that's a lot of shells. Like a lot. Hi, bro. You know what? These enemies hurt me a lot.
Back to the breach. Now to get up there and stop Oblivion.
But at least I damaged them really quickly as well. Here we go. Whoops, idiot. Secret? No. I think this is in our area.
I need to get the power back on.
I think this is in our area where the level diverges. So these are actually, their AI is a reskin of the zombie enemies in Turok 2. I remember being like super confused with the original of this game because it was like so different from the other Turok games. Can I get in there? Oh, I can get crushed actually. Ow! The one thing that I do remember from this game is that the ending was really difficult. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, these episodes might end up being longer. We'll see what happens. Okay, I think this is going into the next level. Maybe I'll make it level-based, like the series, or I'll just timestamp it. I'll see what I do in editing. I don't really have a plan. Oh my god, right. Weirdo. First boss. Am I even damaging him? Yes, I am. See, these N64 games didn't expect you to circle strafe. So canonically, her brother is always with her.
Was the breach sealed?
No, Council. Oblivion has entered the time stream.
The live stream?
How has it manifested itself?
It has infested the bodies of the dead and dying. The infection has created horrible mutations.
Can you track its movement?
Even these guys' heads.
Yes. It is keyed on an energy signature emitting from a military research facility.
What is the source?
Are from Turok 2 enemies.
No. But the signature that it's tracking, it is the origin signature.
So, it intends to hunt them down.
Okay, so that is the end of the level. All right, I did remember that part at least. Though at least it's a bit more obvious.
Joseph!
Jeez, Danny, you almost gave me a heart attack.
We both went through the portal
I
together.
guess we've each got reason to be a little jumpy.
Where's Adon? Where the hell are we?
I don't know.
Well, there's got to be a reason why we're here. Let's check it out.
You ready?
Ready as I'll ever be.
Their voices are so scuffed. The child.
You go that way. See what you can find. Lock that door from the other side.
Where are you going?
To see if I can make any sense of that.
So once again, this is where the characters would diverge. It is interesting how they do still have like some levels different than each other.